For those who don't know?
The problem with the law was it didn't cover the primary grades. It only covered 6 through 12. So the amendment amended it so it goes from K through 12. And it has age-appropriate consequences. Well, what does that mean? Well, that can be expulsion, suspension, in-school suspension, being sent to an alternative school, and ultimately jail time. Again, I told you, bullying in Georgia is considered disrupting the public school, and that's punishable by up to misdemeanor or highly aggravated nature, so it's $5,000 fine or 12 months in jail. Now, a lot of y'all saying, well, Mr. Griggs, I'm under 18 years old. Well, they got this thing down over the bridge called juvenile court, and they got Metro, the youth detention center, which we went to, which we talked to individuals. They also had this thing called SB 440. That's when young children can be charged as adults. That's when they go to big boy jail. When they go to, how many know Wright Street? Wright Street, raise your hand.
Oh, well.
You don't want to go to Wright Street, okay? Let me just give you a background on what I do. I represent killers, thugs, dope boys, real criminals. And the one thing the real criminals tell me is, Mr. Griggs, if you get an opportunity to go out there and talk to these kids, tell them they don't want to come up here. Young men, you don't want to go to jail. Better yet, you don't want to go to prison. And again, bullying is the first step. It goes from bullying to beating people up, to robbing folk, to killing people. It's just that simple. Now, how many of y'all live in Fulton County? Okay, put your hand up. How many of y'all live in Cobb County? How many of y'all live in DeKalb County? Okay, how many of y'all live in Clayton? You need to know something. Bullying breeds gang members. And Georgia has an anti-gang statute. Where they locking folks up for an extra 5 years.
Yes, sir.
Why? Because the greater public is afraid of you. And in order to be afraid of you, they're going to do one thing. They're going to lock you up. Now, we're here to give you ideas and solutions to end this problem so you don't have to see people like me, people like Mr. Banks, people like Atlanta's finest back there in the corner. I get scared when I got scared when they walked in the door, okay? What you need to understand is this. There are consequences to your actions. Dr. King and Miss King and some of the great civil rights leaders fought and died for you to get educated. Yes. Not for you to wear your pants all off your butt.
No, sir. Not
for you to be a thug. Not for you to have a whole bunch of cars. Not for you to have all the chicks. They fought, bled, and died for you to be the next great lawyer. Amen. For you to be the next great doctor. Amen. For you to be the next great parent. You are standing on the shoulders of giants, young people. And they don't tell you this on TV. They don't tell you this sometimes on the radio. But we here to tell you this. It's time out for this foolishness. It's time out. As adults, we come to tell you. As grown men, we come to tell you. It's time out for this foolishness. The bullying stops now. Because it's either going to stop one way or the other. Either you're going to listen to me and the rest of these panelists tonight and catch it. Or you're going to see me again. Or somebody like me. And let me tell you what they call them. They call judge. They call prosecutor. They call defense attorney. They call prison guard. People, it's time to wake up. There's a war going on. And you guys are the meat for the grinder. I'm going to leave y'all with one thing. I was a public defender in DeKalb County. And my boss called me in the office one day. And he said, Gerald, I want you to do one thing. I said, what you want me to do? He said, I want you to pretend that you're on the front lines of a slaughter factory. Anybody see how they slaughter chickens? They take them, bring their neck, and they put them on down the thing. I said, well, what you mean? He said it's exactly what the criminal justice system is. And your job is to snatch as many chickens off the slaughter line. I can't snatch all of it. But it starts tonight. People, Georgia's serious about anti-bullying. Georgia's serious about anti-crime. If you don't want to see a person like me again, please listen to these panelists. Because if you don't, you're going to see Rice Street, you're going to see DeKalb County, you're going to see Clayton County. We all know about Clayton County. But ultimately, you're going to see Jackson. Yeah, most of y'all know what Jackson is. That's the diagnostic center. That's the first step in the Georgia Department of Corrections. And it's also the last stop because that's where the death chamber is. Boys and girls, this is real. I deal with this every day. Please listen to these people because they're trying to impact your lives. Listen to Dr. King. Keep the dream going. And you know what? We no longer have an excuse. Why do we no longer have an excuse? Why? Because it's cool to be smart. Why is it cool to be smart? Because you can achieve anything you want. President Obama showed us that. So the next time you say there are no role models, there are no positive African-American males doing anything, you're lying to yourself. We're out here. We want to help you, but you first got to help yourself. Stop the bullying. Thank you.
And quickly, how many of you are familiar with the Bobby Tillman case?